Okay, so tonight I'm going to talk to you about something that's a little more personal to me. It's not lighthearted and it's not fun, but I think it's necessary. In 1938, James Mad Dog Sherbondi walked up to an Eagle County Sheriff's officer and shot him in the head to see how it felt. He would later be arrested and sent to Canyon City Maximum Security Prison, where he would escape. After escaping, he would go to a local farmhouse, tie up the owner, rape and murder his wife and daughters in front of him, and then kill the homeowner himself. Years later, he was arrested again for a burglary charge. He was held at Buckley Air Force Base but escaped yet again. On November 29, 1969, he was driving a stolen car through downtown Denver when he came in contact with my grandfather. On the corner of 15th in California, Mad Dog pulled a gun on Detective Dowd and shot him 6 times. I see in the photo. But not before my grandfather was able to take him out as well. On the body was found a pipe bomb and a map of a shopping center that he planned to blow up, and a stolen gun from a security guard found dead mysteriously. Years later, my grandfather's death was ruled a homicide due to James Mad Dog Sherbondi. And because of this, he was added to the Fallen Heroes Wall, not only in Denver or Colorado, but to the national one on the National Mall in DC. There's also a sign that hangs on the corner of 15th in California that tells about his bravery. This is him in the hospital. This is outside of the station number 1 in Denver. This is on the National Mall. And this is the sign that hangs on the corner of 15th in California. Now, this is where it gets uncomfortable, because today the police are stereotyped as racists or bigots, and there are some that are. Just like there's lawyers who are dishonest, and there's teachers who don't care about their students. But I don't think that most police officers are racists or bigots. I think that people like Darren Wilson are. In 2014, Darren Wilson killed Michael Brown outside of a liquor store in Ferguson, Missouri. And because of him, an entire profession was stereotyped as a racist. In 2015, 385 people were killed by police officers. 365 of those people were men. 171 of them were white. Another 100 were black, and the rest were Hispanic, Asian, or unknown. I think if this profession were about killing people just because they could, there'd be a lot more deaths than that. Of those 365 men, 73% of them tried to shoot the officer before the officer pulled a gun on them as well. Out of any police contact, only 0.049% is considered excessive force. Out of that, only 8% is found to have any merit, meaning that only 0.0039% of any contact with a police officer, from a traffic stop to being a witness to actually getting arrested, is considered forceful. That means that you're 7 times more likely to get murdered, 25 times more likely to die in a car crash, and 42 times more likely to get raped than to come in contact with these quote-unquote racist officers. Melvin Russell was a drug task lieutenant in Baltimore, Maryland. When he planned on retiring, the police force said that he couldn't because they needed more cops like him. He was a preacher and he was African American. So they moved him into the worst district in Baltimore. And something great happened. The district went down in homicide rates by over half and hadn't seen rates that low since the 60s. Gang violence went down 35%, and the district was named the safest in Maryland. He did this because he cared about the people that he was protecting. He said that his officers learned to protect, not serve, and he wanted them to serve and not protect. I think that more officers are like him than we really know. Every 61 seconds, a cop dies due to his job. And the profession is only growing by 4%, with an average rate that's usually about 8, because people don't understand the stress it takes to be an officer. Over 40% of all cops struggle with addiction, whether it be drugs, alcohol, or something else, depression, and anxiety. I don't think there's any other profession that can say that, and I think that's sort of a crisis that we need to attack. I don't think that we should blame police officers or African Americans. I think that we should blame each other, because we've allowed each other to act this way, not just about one, but about both, to stereotype an entire occupation, an entire race, just because we thought that one person was bad. I want to know what's so different between cops and all of us. My grandfather was a hero, and most cops are heroes. And most African Americans are great people, so I think we need to stop stereotyping. I think that we need to develop our own opinions rather than just use what we think is okay. And with that, I wanted to go by inviting you all to form your own opinions rather than look at other people's. Because my grandfather deserved more than to be labeled a racist.